What's up, people? So, look, that's one of the things. That's one of the Frankenstein bolts. They say it's all right, but just keep shifting up this whole rap. But so that's what they are. Yeah. So again, all this drying out, all kinds of craziness, dirty, nasty. But the big thing is apparently oxycontins and anesthesia stop you up. So I haven't pooped in 5 days. Wow. With all this, not super nasty, but not good hospital food on top of it. Wow. Yeah. So again, last night they kept me up till 3 a.m., got me up at 6 for the sleep deprivation to hopefully trigger it. Didn't happen. Uh, so today it's alcohol. Again, they're going to give me alcohol later and just try. But I really, really want to poop. Seizures, that's important. Obviously, that's the whole point of this. But I don't really want a seizure, but I need to poop bad. Yeah, skin's breaking down. Look at all that good stuff, man. Uh, yeah. So observations. You know, Halloween, the movie, Jamie Lee Curtis. First one's great. Second one's all right. They had a marathon on yesterday. I had no idea how much they destroyed that franchise. Like the Busta Rhymes one and like whatever the hell. I did not know. Ignorance is bliss. And it was better when I didn't know they existed because they really effed that franchise. Uh, I was pleasantly surprised by um, Batman Superman, the movie. Uh, Again, I stream everything at home. Here, you actually have to deal with commercials. I'm thinking that's probably why America's suicide rate is so high. Like you can't get into any movie. It's like 10 minute commercials for 7, 10 minutes commercials for 7, and it's just the worst acting, the worst everything. It just makes you sad. It's like man. People always talk about if you want to get political, how our country's being hollowed out by people taking real jobs. Well, what the hell do they think? Hollywood's so no one really wants to work, right? So you go to Hollywood and hopefully get famous. But that pool has been so freaking diluted over the years. How do they make money off this crap? It's just so bad. I got to watch a daytime soap opera, but they're like in on the joke. Like they don't take themselves seriously, so that's kind of comical. But man, I guess I never really paid attention to how much useless sludge is out there. So how does that add to our GDP or export whatever? I don't know, man, but we need a new Hollywood. It's really gross. It's weird. Uh, yeah, that's a string from the subject. But so as far as this is concerned, I haven't had a seizure yet. No activity, and we're just waiting. And people can't believe that I don't watch TV. They keep coming in, they're like, "Oh, your TV is off. Is everything okay? Do you want me to turn it on?" I'm like, "No." Next nurse, "Oh, your TV is off. Do you need it on?" Like, it blows their mind that I can just sit here and stare. I have an imagination, and I don't mind not looking at something. I don't need a screen to give me thoughts. I have plenty, but it's comical. But last night I did break down because trying to stay up till 3. I even watched Kings of Queens. Uh, some weird CNN. Yeah, whatever. It's not worth it. They need to clean Hollywood out and start something else because that shit is pointless. But yeah, so I digress. I'm kind of rambling because I'm just bored out of my mind now. Haven't been taking as many drugs. I'm going to take them soon though because this is starting to hurt. Uh, Not necessarily where the node is, but like what would be a normal area or a normal headache. Like so far, all the other pain you can tell it's like outside in throbbing, but now it's more like a normal headache just coming out, as if none of this was in my head. Uh, but yeah, um, the pooping has to happen. And again, they give you plenty of soft, what do you call it? Stool softeners and laxatives and stuff. But it's just, I guess, because you're on that many drugs, because you have things in your head, you're just extra backed up. So I don't know what my advice for you guys is on that, uh, but it sucks. And so what else? How about the fairer sex? Let's talk about gender for a second. Now, most of these are women. My nurses, there's probably like eight, but there is two dudes, you know. And to see the differences in them is hilarious. Like, whether it's mother instinct or what, but just the unsaid stuff that the women have done that the dudes are probably supposed to be doing too, but they haven't. Like cleaning I had like 8 plastic cups here, all empty. Dudes didn't clean it up. I had socks that didn't fit. Uh, the one older woman comes in first thing, gives me socks that fit, takes my cups, uh, offers to do this, offers to do that. It's just funny. I'm sure people are going to hate me for this comment, but I'm not complaining. There's certain innate stuff I think that comes with being a mother, I guess. And of course, I asked them, and they all did have children, except the dudes. But the women I asked had all have children. So yeah, so nurses are great. Uh, I mean, the dudes are great too. Don't get me wrong, but they just like cut jokes, right? So like the women clean, the dudes are like trying to like bro you up and be your friend, which is awesome too. Don't get me wrong. The experience is very palpable. Zero complaints other than the pooping. Um, how about desire, right? So the main thing I'm worried about all this stuff is I'm a creative person. I'm an artist, right? And it's always hard for me to say I'm an artist because I come from a football business family. Uh, Tough dudes, tough women, a ton of us too. There's like thousands of us. Not many artists, right? So, growing up, you're always afraid to say it. But either way, once you embrace it and they start talking about putting things in my head and cutting parts of my brain out, I'm like, wow, wait a minute. Am I going to be creative anymore? Am I going to still have that desire, right? Which brings me to the drugs. Not oxycodone, not these drugs, but the seizure meds. This last one I was on, um, I forget the name, but I don't want to say the name anyway because people, when you go on forums and stuff, it's like people that are their own doctors. They're like asking about, what about this drug? What about this drug? I mean, drugs names are what they are. There's hundreds of them for seizures. Uh, but this last in particular one, just my desire for everything, like cooking. I used to, you know, cooking takes steps, multiple steps to create a great meal. That last drug was just like slow cooker, everything in the slow cooker, everything in the slow cooker, everything. The detail and the art of cooking was missing. And then I noticed I wasn't painting anymore. And just the desire to create was gone. So, uh, yeah, so I'm still worried about that, even though they switched me out from that because I'm like, look, this doesn't work. I mean, it works as far as keeping my seizures down, so what? But as far as quality of life, those just made me a blank zombie. I could have cared less about anything. And I'm usually a pretty fiery, passionate person. So hopefully that drug change is going to help. And obviously, ultimately, I'm not going to be on any drugs, right? Which is another concern. I've been on super heavy psychoactive drugs for like 7 or 8 years, you know? Like, what does that do to my brain when I'm off of it? So, say I go after this, get my surgery, they cut the part out. I no longer have seizures, but I still have 10 years worth of drugs in me. You know, like my personality has changed. My wife can tell you, my friends can tell you. So, a lot of me is nervous about my self identity. Like, what am I going to be after this? Am I going to be a better version of myself? Am I going to be the same, just no seizures? Am I going to be like a combination? That stuff all kind of worries me, you know? Um, Trying to make videos, right? Like being an animator and all the little steps that it takes to make, say, Superman versus Batman, you know, I technically could do it. I know what the programs are, After Effects and all that. But my attention to detail and doing it in bursts is almost gone. Like I used to, you know, you have to do it for 8 hours a day if it's a real job. I could do like two before I'm like in some rabbit hole and I'm like, I have to stop. It's more like reps, I noticed. Like I can do a lot more reps at shorter bursts than like one big burst, which I used to be able to do for hours. So that's concerning. You know, like what if I'm like a blacksmith, right? I just gone the way of horses where they don't need my horseshoes. They don't need horseshoes anymore. I'm just like, yikes. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Basically, got to find a new career. It seems like if it keeps up, because it's just draining and hard to concentrate. Again, hopefully it's the drugs. So once I'm done, I'll be back to normal. But uh, I am kind of nervous about what version of myself I'll be if I have any awareness. Because, you know, again, I don't have all my memories, right? That's like a big byproduct of this problem is your lack of memory. So what if all of a sudden they cut this pain out and all these memories come back? It's just like, whoa, yeah, I don't know if I want to see the Matrix all at once like that. Who the hell knows? It's all just wild to think about, man. It's really interesting. But yeah, so I hope everyone's doing well. Uh, the pooping's the main goal right now. Yeah. And thanks for paying attention. I'll do this again after I have a seizure, probably. Or else it's just going to keep doing this random, useless talking just to make myself feel better. But it is a wild, wild thing. Let's get a look at this Frankenstein. It kind of looks like I could hook up cable TV to it, right? I'm sure Elon Musk or somebody's working on that. Zuckerberg. I mean, I know they had the Neuralink thing, which probably isn't too far from this, but like this looks like I could actually plug in, right? You hear that? That's me tapping on it. And I can't feel that though. Probably not supposed to be doing that. All right, people. Yeah. So I wouldn't say pray for me because what a weird word that is, but hope that I have a bowel movement and that after that bowel movement, I have a nice calm seizure and everything gets recorded and I'm gone tomorrow. That'd be great. Thank you, everybody. Peace.